Good morning. Hello. How's it going? Welcome. Look at this bright, beautiful day we have. Oh. Well, the camera's still green, but now my computer is black. This is so fun, the amount of adventures. Just trying to do yoga. I don't know what happened. I guess goodbye, computer. I guess maybe I'll check on my phone, and if we're streaming, we'll just keep her going. And figure out what went on there later. Oh, yes. Error. There's an error message. Okay. Is that for real? Okay, that's real there. We're gonna go with it. I have an error message on my phone, but my screen's back on and things are working, so I'm gonna go with it. Hi, good morning and welcome. What's going on? What's shaking? You having a great morning so far? If you're rewatching, how's your day going? What a good, just noticing my mat is pulled all the way that way. And if I don't want to smack my head on the table, I just make a little more room here. So, something like that. Welcome to gardening. All the things, it's wonderful. Well, if you are setting up your own space at home, you need just enough room to roll out a mat, we'll make it work. If you've got a block or a strap, something that we can use. What's up, Donna? Good morning. Welcome. So great to have you. So consistent. I love that. So Thursday, happy hips day. Thursday, I'm also making the slightly shorter days. It's for more of a 45-minute. Mostly just if anyone wants a quicker workout, I upload these to YouTube afterwards and I say how long they are. So just kind of add some variety if you don't have time to do the full hour class. And so that's what we're doing today, is a gentle style class, focusing in on the hips, really focusing in on the body. Maybe we'll do some balance work and discovering things about feet and how if you want to be able to do a deeper forward fold, you actually need to release some tension in your feet, which is really kind of neat. And so bizarre. It seems like that's so weird. How does that work? But it does work. I've tried it out several times with some different exercises, and it totally makes a difference. That little scratching is my dog crawling under a table, making a little den under there. It's where she lays just off camera every morning to do my yoga. So that's great. All right, let's get her going. Tana, what did you say? Oh, yay, yeah. Hips are tight. My hips are always tight. I do these classes twice a week, and yet I still feel like I'm dying. Okay. Cheers is my first coffee day. Usually I've had one in and I'm drinking tea by now, but I slept in this morning, so cheers. That's what I feel I need to say. All right, let's journey on down to mats if you haven't done so already. And I really find that position you want to start off in. I used to always encourage people to lie down, especially when I taught like more in the evening at 8 p.m. And my mom was like, I tried your morning one and I'm not ready just to lay on my back first thing. I'm just getting out of bed. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. So if you want to start seated, that's a beautiful option. Laying down is great. You get lots of wonderful feedback into the spine, into the body. You can really notice the openness of the front body, gravity pulling things open. Really fun. But if you want to hang out seated, that is also wonderful. You can notice into the sits bones, and you can really notice into those hips. If even seated, and you're starting to hold on to some tension. So in whatever position you find yourself in, let's roll those shoulders back and down. Take a big breath in, breathe it in. Exhale nice and slow. Let's take one more of those. Nice, slow, big breath in. Exhale, let it out. And start to notice where you're even going to be rushing the breath there. And can we start to be in control, slow things down, and get more into that sensing of how we're feeling We are in control of our next movements, our next decisions, our next breath. And we don't have to react to the body trying to rush us through anything. Here is our time to scan within, noticing if those hips are tight, or where are they tight? Or is it more of the side of the hip, that IT band and those hip flexors? Is it more the front of the hips, or more of that glute area? There's actually a lot of area that circumference into the hips. So where is that tightness hanging out? How are the legs? How's the back, shoulders, the neck and the head? How's the jaw? Holding tension there. And just start to notice. You don't have to call it good. You don't have to call it bad. You don't have to get mad at your body over having tension and tightness within it, although I'm sure it can be very frustrating. But just nod to it. Say, I see you. And that simple acknowledgement actually starts to first heal the body. So it might just be something really minor, but starting to notice something, that awareness of it can start that journey and that whole process towards getting better, or even getting worse, to be honest. If there's something nagging at you and you continue to ignore it, that's the flip side of that. So let's continue in with a couple more nice big breaths. Notice, are you just breathing into the lungs? Can we start to really use that diaphragm to breathing more into the abdomen area? Maybe even just breathing into the abdomen area. So lots of times we can do that 3-part breath where you notice the ribs expand and the belly expand and breathing all the way through. But if you want just that full belly breathing or that diaphragmatic breathing, I'm going to put a hand on the heart, on the ribs, even just underneath, kind of on the stomach area, and one just a little bit lower. And see if you can breathe just moving your bottom hand. So it feels really weird to do because it's just your tummy moving in and out. And if you have any body image issues, this highlights them. This says, hello, you're feeling all of those areas you're probably ashamed of. You probably use leggings to cover up all of that, but get comfortable with it. It's okay. Your hands are on your body's wonderful. And can you breathe just into that belly area, expanding it? Oh no, how terrible. No, it's a breath. Just take it. It's wonderful. Work with it. This is, my life lesson for this morning is getting a little more comfortable with your own body and with that breath. So keep trying to just breathe into that. You can take quick breaths, you can take slow breaths. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're practicing that nice big low breath. Yes, I'm using breathing to sneak more coffee. Beautiful. Take your last one. See if you can really control into it. If I remember at the end of class, it's really fun to come back to this breath, especially once we've practiced it at the beginning of class, but to practice it lying down and putting a hand on your low back. And so you have a hand on the front, on the bottom, and a hand on the back, and trying to breathe into both the hand and the low back. And you might as well just take a couple just to practice it. Most people are really terrible at this, but this is that full diaphragmatic breath. It's not just not breathing into your ribs and breathing fully into your belly, but you got to use your posterior side, your back side of your body, as well as the front of the body. So as you're breathing in, you might max out your front first and see if you can continue that breath all the way around the sides and the back. Beautiful. You can return to a normal rhythm of breath or continue on with that nice deep breath. You can relax the hands. If you'd like to set an intention for our time together, go ahead and think of that intent, that purpose, that word, phrase of dedication now. Seal it in with a nice big breath. Breathing in. And maybe on the exhale you sigh, you let it out. And you start to wake up the body, wiggling into fingers and toes. You're rolling wrists and ankles, getting some of those nice cracks and pops out. Beautiful. Excellent. If you're laying down, start to make your way up to a nice seated position. If you're seated, make sure you can feel into those sits bones. Maybe you want to pull some of the flesh off to the side. And let's fix our posture. So sitting up nice and tall, slight tuck of the chin, lengthen through that spine. See if you can get a little bit taller. And then make sure you're not flaring those ribs out. Let's pull those ribs in, nice strong core. Beautiful. Let's inhale and sweep those arms up. So we'll take a couple of these. Inhales to reach up, exhales to pull down. This is such a great way to warm up the shoulders, the arms, the spine. You want to warm up more for the spine. Taking that little back bend, trying to imagine the heart center really lifting. And then on that exhale, we're taking a little bow, a little curl through the spine. So imagine like a seated cat-cow. Some beautiful arm movements with it. So letting this feel really good for you and for your body. You can exaggerate it as giant and as big as you want. You can start right long from the ground, pressing into the fingers, being so intentional all the way up. And as you come down, maybe take a full forward fold and round into it. Just play around. Oh, so good. I think I needed a little spine work this morning. Excellent. All right, let's take one more. We will sweep up and hold. Reach those arms up so nice and tall. Maybe interlace them coming to steeple, where you can interlace the palms and flip palms facing upwards. Whatever feels real good on your arms, on your shoulders. Keep reaching up though. Feel all of that beautiful length. Let's just tip over a little bit towards the left here. Reaching over, feeling that core kind of engaged. Not holding here too long. Let's come on back up. Still reaching nice and tall over towards the other side. Just a nice little tip over, feeling into that side body a little bit. Let's come on back. And let's change now our hand position, interlacing thumbs, palms forward. And do little jazz fingers. And reach over towards the left. Reach, reach, reach. And come on back up. Over towards the right. Excellent. Come on back up. Last set. Release the hands. Have palms facing each other. Try to roll those shoulders down a little bit. And then over towards the left. Come on back up. And towards the right. So good. Reach it up. Pull the hands down. Hands to heart. Let's switch the feet. Opposite foot on front or on top. However you were sitting before, switch it around. Find a little variety. It's the spice of life. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back and down. Really lift from the heart. Let's inhale. Reach those arms up. Exhale. Hands to heart. Inhale. Reach those arms all the way up. And bring hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's reach left hand towards right knee. And other arm. Right arm reaches all the way up. So we're still taking a side bend, but we have a little anchor point. So you might even be adding a touch of a twist into it. If that feels good, go ahead and do for it. You want to do more of just the side bend. You're keeping your back and your shoulders nice and flat. And just reaching one arm one way and reaching the other arm the opposite way. You can pulse it out, make it nice and deep. Enjoy the stillness. Find what works really nice for you. Excellent. Let's take one more breath here and hold. Big giant inhale and exhale, come all the way back up. Let's switch the arms. So now right hand reaches for left knee or even in at the hip and keep that arm going all the way up. Beautiful. You can have a nice little pulse in. Really like kind of starting with a bit of a pulse, especially for these side bends. It's actually giving me some more lengthening in the muscles through the ribs, through that low back. Beautiful. Nice little stretch of holding. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Let's come all the way back up. Switch the hands. Now left knee towards, or left hand towards right knee. And this time we'll come into a full twist. So reaching that right hand all the way around like a nice second spine. It plants in right behind that tailbone. Get nice and tall. And then exhale, twist it out. Letting it feel really good. Feeling all of that rotation through the vertebrae. Can you really imagine it spinning around? Maybe that gaze goes over that back shoulder. Excellent. Let's release. Come back to center. Feel your neutral first. And then we'll come to the other side. So reaching forward, that left knee. Arm reaches out and spins around. Starting to twist even there. Feeling that shoulder rotating back. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, deepen. Feel it right from the base of the spine. Twisting all the way around. Wonderful, big breath. Beautiful. Can you imagine it on this side? Can you feel the vertebrae? Are you looking over that back shoulder? If the neck is sore, you don't have to. Just kind of adds a nice little stretch in towards the neck. Beautiful. Let's exhale. Release. And then come back towards the center. All right, let's roll into all fours. Let's get going with these hips here. Keep warming them up. Planting hands in towards the mat, stacking your shoulders over top. Knees and hips nicely aligned. Just a couple of cat-cow breaths because I can't not do them when I'm here. So inhales to look up, scooping that belly down, dropping the spine down. Exhales, rounding through the spine, pressing into those hands, really pushing those shoulders up. I've been getting like a little crack that happens, a little adjustment. And I swear it just releases all these endorphins. Like it's quite magical moving through the body. Maybe I've stored some happiness in that little vertebrae. And every time I give him some movement, he's like, oh yes, here we go. All right, let's come back to our nice neutral. Extend the head nice and long. Let's send those right toes back, touch them down, and square that hip off. And so I did this move on Tuesday, if you were with me, but I really like it, so I'm gonna bring in a repeat. And so make sure that core is nice and engaged, and make sure those hands are nice and rooted, nice and planted. If you need something under that left knee, now is your chance to make sure it's nice and propped up, nice and comfy, not hurting that knee at all. Let's bring the foot out towards the right, imagining the floor like a clock. So it's hanging out in that nice 3 o'clock position. This feels pretty good, nice and easy. And then let's start off our first one just by dragging our foot. So keep that weight off of that right foot. Keep that core nice and engaged. So dragging it back towards that 6 o'clock. And then keep going. Let's see if we can get to 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8, 8:30. Trying to get towards 9. Now odds are you've opened up. You might even be looking towards the right to try to be able to get your foot to go a little more. Let's take a little moment. Align the shoulders back towards the front of the mat. If you're getting a nice IT band stretch here, you're more than welcome to keep that, but ideally roll that left hip back, press that right hip forward, trying to still square the hips and feeling that movement that's happening there. So if you need to bring your foot back a little bit, feels really good. Try to keep that leg nice and straight. So here's our movement. We're just going to swing the leg back and forth. For the most gentle variation, you're doing it as one nice, slow, fluid movement. I'm starting to notice when you would want to swing that hip out to get that extra bit of motion. If you want a little more, if you want to start playing around with hip flexors, add a little bounce to the foot. So see if you can touch it out every half an hour. Adding in a little bounce. Okay, let's see if I can just gently move this. There we go. So we'll do 5 of these with bounce. We've done 2 already. Nice and smooth. We really got to warm up through that side. You might even really be noticing this more on that standing leg, on that left hip, more so than on the right hip. Trust me, if you're adding a little bounce in, you'll start to feel that in through the glutes, in through the hip flexors. Bounce can be really little, bounce can be really good. Don't worry how far the foot goes towards the left. Even if you're trying to get back to that nice 3 o'clock position out to the right, you'll feel that squeeze pulling the leg in. You're working hard here, we're getting stuff done. Warm it up through the body. I've lost count of how many I've done to either side, but I think I'm at 4. So we'll do 1 more, bringing it all the way back, all the way to that 9 o'clock. Now, how about like a 7 o'clock at most? That's okay. Come on back, bring it back to that 3 o'clock position. Plant the feet in, let it feel really good. And let's walk the hands forward, coming into a puppy pose, but with that leg extended nice and long. So you're just walking the hands forward, keep the hips over the knee. You can drop the head down, you can melt the heart down, you can come down on your forearms. You're probably noticing a little stretch in that right inner thigh, maybe a bit into that low back. Excellent. Let it feel really good. Nice stretch for the arms. If you keep the arms nice and extended. Excellent. Start to walk those hands back in and let's come all the way up. Coming up. Nice and good. Place the hands on the hips. And let's just start to tip over. So roll the shoulders back and down. Tip over towards the right. So noticing all of that beautiful stretch happening through that left side body. If you want more, you can start to reach that hand up or overhead. And that right arm can track down the leg if that feels better, if you don't want it nestled in with the hip. I kind of like that because it kind of pushes the hip out a little bit. Lots of times we kind of crumple in and fall. But however you need to stabilize, let it feel good. Let's come on back, up. Let's pulse it out. Let's take 3 of these. Reaching over, maybe reach the arm up, let the arm come back down, back towards neutral, reach it up, and back. Maybe you're imagining reaching for those toes as you reach up overhead. Excellent, feels real good. All right, let's come on back down, planting the hands, bring that knee in, take a nice little sway from side to side. Beautiful. Come to your stillness. And let's get ready to go with the left foot. So left foot comes back, touches down onto the mat. Roll that left foot back down, squaring it nice and even. So starting this beautiful squared forward position. And then bringing the left foot about 9 o'clock out to the left side. Excellent. Pressing in, making sure you're still stabilizing. And take a moment, take the weight out of that left foot so that you can start to have some movement with the foot. And coming to that 6 o'clock. And trying to bring it all the way to that 3 o'clock or even 4:30, wherever you're landing. Notice, did you just open up totally towards the left to try to get some more space? Let's try to square everything back off. As you do so, you might feel that beautiful IT band stretch that happens as you roll it back. There might be just this little stretch on the side of the hip. You can also target this by laying on your side and doing some rolling. And accentuate that if you have a tennis ball. Maybe I'll show you what you mean after. All right, let's start to add our bounce or our slide back and forth. So starting to move between our 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock or anywhere there in between that you want to hang out and be. Just make sure that you can start to feel it. If you want, you can bounce really high. You can bounce really low. Trying not to kick the pots around me. I'm doing good so far though. A little mindfulness, a little extra on my part. Trying to also think about keeping my hips nice and square and straight. It's hard, but you really want to kind of sway through the hips. It feels good, and that's okay. Excellent. 2 more. Out towards one side, pulsing it out. Oh yeah, 9 o'clock with the bounce. And those last couple of bounces, you sure feel it. Beautiful. Excellent. Take your last one. So I can't count and do motion at the same time, but thanks for loving me anyway. Excellent. Plant that foot out towards the left side. Oh, feels great to actually just let that foot root down. And let's walk those hands forward, taking our little puppy pose, keeping those hips and pressing back and pressing up. You can drop the head down. You can drop down to forearms. Feel like the heart is melting down towards the mat. Nice little engagement through the arms, through the shoulders. Excellent. Let's Let's start to press on up. And let's come all the way up. Hands on those hips. Nice and strong. And let's start to bend over towards the left. Feeling all of that length and space happening on that right side. Feels really neat, a little awareness there. And then let's bring that right arm up. Reaching up, reaching overhead. Take a little moment, feel that nice slow stretch. Feeling that through the rib cage, through the underarms. Beautiful. And let's come back up. And let's take 3 little pulses here. I like to kind of bring my bottom arm down and make a nice little big half moon motion. Come on, back down. Reach it up overhead. Imagine grabbing onto those toes and back down. Here's our last one already. Reaching and back. Beautiful. Let's bring those hands back down. Bring the knees in. Take that little sway from side to side. Working lots in those little side hip muscles today. Let's get into those hip flexors, into those glutes a little bit, just real quick. So find your stillness, find your tabletop. Right foot goes back. Take a nice big inhale, get nice and tall and long. Tuck the chin, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, engage the core. And start to float right leg up. Beautiful. Bring a bend to that knee so the foot goes up in the air. Really still pressing into those hands, still active through that core. Let's take 5 little pulses engaging through the glute here. So squeezing it up, bringing that foot up. Excellent. Find your stillness. And if you want, you can keep a bend to the knee. Let's bring knee towards right wrist or right elbow. Maybe you give a little tap, maybe not. You can send it back up. We'll take 3 little pulses towards right arm. Come on, back up. 3 pulses towards left. And so feel that journey across the body. Feel those obliques start to engage. Feel that bit of core start to work. Kick it up. And 3 towards nose, chin, eyebrows, whatever you got. It's kind of in the middle. As you're bringing it in, feel a little squeeze. See if you can bring the knee in a little bit extra. Beautiful. Send it out. Nice and long. Last one. Open up the knee. Foot comes down. And 3 pulses coming up into a little baby spider towards the shoulder. Excellent. Beautiful. Bring that knee back down towards the mat. Nice little sway. Feeling good. All right, pressing into those hands. Left toes, it's your turn, so take a nice big inhale. Lengthen. Exhale, engage the core. Left toes, step on back. And float that foot up. Beautiful. Bend through the knee, foot goes up in the air. And 5 pulses coming up. Working those glutes. Maybe feel that little engagement through the low back. If you're really dropping the belly down here, you're actually compensating the pose. Try to keep that low back nice and engaged. And there's just be some motion through the glute. And so if you notice, you're kind of sinking down, if your elbows are bending at all, you're kind of compromising it. All right, I'm sure that's 5. Let's find our little stillness here, keeping that foot up in the air. Knee towards left wrist or elbow. Swing it back up. Excellent. First, 1 more here, just 3 on this side. Beautiful. Come on, back up. Let's go knee towards right wrist. Feel that squeeze across the body. Don't rush these. Really try to squeeze that knee in. Feeling that big stretch, that big pull. Excellent. Bring it up. Bring knee towards nose or center. Knee to nose is fun. Kind of imagine everything squeezing in. All right, kick it up now. 3 out towards the side. So open up that knee, let the foot fall down. Feel that nice openness through the hip. Then squeeze it. Use those obliques on that side. Excellent. Beautiful. Drop that knee back down. Bring the knees nice and wide. Push back. Take that nice little child's pose. Reach those hands forward. Drop the head down. Connect in with the breath. Did that warm any of you up? I feel pretty warmed up from that. A little moist forehead here, according to my mat. How many of you just cringed at me saying the word moist? You're welcome. Beautiful. One more big inhale. One more nice exhale. And press into those hands. Let's tuck those toes under. Lift the hips nice and high, making your way into that nice downward dog. Excellent. Connecting in with the breath. Feeling that nice stretch on the shoulders. Really elongate that spine. Beautiful. Let's look towards the front of the mat. Hop, step, jump, or tiptoe. Maybe take a few little baby steps to get there. Nice forward fold. Let it feel good. Ooh, coffee. It's like my squirrel this morning. So good. Here's our nice release. If that low back is tight, bend the knees. That'll feel really good. Maybe you give those back line of the legs a nice little massage. Maybe you bend one knee in the next. Excellent. So inhale, halfway lift. Let's take a little moment here. Roll those shoulders back and down. Find all of that nice length through the crown of the head. Maybe even press into the legs to add that extra bit of height to the spine. Beautiful. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Swoop those arms up. Reach all the way up as you press up to standing. Reaching up nice and tall and strong. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let it feel really nice. Really good. Connecting in with your mat, with the ground. Excellent. Let's take a little moment. Let's step right toes back. Nice and slow though, so take a moment here. Sorry, I cued that kind of quickly. And then shift your weight into your left foot. Let's bring right heel up, just pressing in towards the toes. And then really mindfully, let's see if we can lift that right foot. And then very slowly, as if you're watching a slow motion video, and start to kick that foot back. You'll add a little bow forward to counterbalance that leg. Maybe even you extend that leg in the air and then get ready to land it. Nice and slow, yeah. We've done that as slow as we possibly could. You can adjust the stance if you're not quite in that perfect high lunge position. You can land it exactly as you need it. Let's bring a bend to that front knee. Roll left hip back, right hip forward. And start to feel that nice stretch through the right quad. My screen went dark on Facebook. If I'm having image issues, you just holler at me. Let me know. Sometimes it does it and it's working fine though, so I never actually know what's happening. The computer version isn't actually as intuitive as the phone version, but I get better image quality. And I don't drain my battery, so there's that. All right, we'll hang it out still in this nice high lunge. Just take a little moment, really feeling that stretch. Hands are just hanging out at heart center, not overly working through the arms here. I'm gonna keep deep in this, pressing into those back toes. All right, let's get ready to transition to come back up with that knee coming up. So pressing into those toes, back toes. Bring yourself a little bit more forward. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate the comment that you can still see me because that Facebook screen is black except for the comments. Okay, back foot, press into the toes. Start to shift your weight towards that front leg, that left leg. Maybe you hop those back toes a little bit closer. And then maybe you can lift that foot up off the ground. And start to bring that knee forward. Don't stop when you get knee to knee. Keep it coming. Keep bringing it all the way up here. Beautiful. Bring the hands onto the knee. Pull that knee in towards the chest. Let me just spin around this way. Beautiful. Excellent. So hanging out here. Let's hold on to the leg with just that left hand. Find your drishti point, little point of focus and balance. Right hand can reach forward and maybe start to spin it around, opening it up into a bit of a twist here. Hanging out, letting it feel good. And if you want a little more, you can start to extend that right leg, trying to bring it into a nice straight leg. Excellent, bring a bend back to the knee. Let's untwist it. Excellent, now holding on to just the right side. Let's open up the leg, bringing the knee out towards the side. And feeling that standing leg be nice and strong. Notice the core, what's the ribs doing? Are they puffing out? Are they nice and tight? How's that low back doing? And stay nice and engaged. If you want a little more from this one, you can reach down for the feet. You can grab a strap. You can work on extending that leg nice and long. You can fall out of it. It's good luck. Hey, look, I tried it. I tried it and I didn't succeed, and that's okay. I don't fail at yoga. It's okay, but I'm going to try it again because I feel like I was pretty close. So if you need to come out of it, you can. All right, dristy point. Something that is not moving. That flower will do. Excellent. That's not the most beautiful thing, but I feel like I did it. Still falling out of it slightly. All right, let's bring that knee back towards center. Bring that foot back down. Give the hips a nice little shake. Maybe you march it out. Maybe you felt that more in the feet. So good. Standing at the top of the mat. Nice and tall and strong. Have the other side to do. And feel the feet gripping into the mat. Start to shift your weight towards that right side. Left heel pops up. Just hanging on the tippy toes. And in slow motion, with so much control, let's bring that left foot up. Let's bring that left foot back. Starting to tip forward. Hanging out. Foot extends nice and long. Beautiful. Roll that left hip down, squaring those hips. And plant the foot. Nice and slow. So much control. Great job. You can adjust your stance. Popping up on those back toes. And then finding that nice high lunge roll. Right hip back, press left hip forward. Let it feel really good on that left quad. Relax through the shoulders. Hands can be on the hips or at prayer. Taking a couple of breaths, you're really sinking into that stretch. You can drop that back knee down at any point if it's getting a little too intense. Just trying to get that nice giant stretch through that quad. And there's lots of muscles there. It's a big muscle. I'm adding a little pulse into it to try to deepen it. Feels good. Beautiful. Find your stillness. Find your strength. And that's ready. Get ready to float on back up nice and slow. Reverse slow motion, is that a thing? Reverse in slow motion? That's the sentence I'm looking for. And so start to press into those back toes, shift your weight a little bit forward. Maybe you hop that foot a little bit more closer. Helps it out. Bowing forward. Let's lift that left foot up. Nice and tall. You can roll that left hip down. And bring the knee in nice and slow. Find that point to focus in on. Come all the way up. Bring the knee with you. And hug that knee in towards the chest. See if you can feel a nice squeeze on the glute. Working with that standing leg. Excellent. Beautiful. So holding onto the knee with both hands. Let's transition that to just the right hand. Holding onto the leg, left hand reaches out and opens up into a beautiful twist. And can transition to the outer edge of the leg. Find your balance. Work with those feet. Let it be good. Feel that openness. If you want a little more, you can extend that left leg. Nice and long. Excellent. Bring your bend back to that knee. Let's untwist it. And still working with this leg up in the air. Maybe you're holding on with both hands. Maybe you're freestyling it, no hands. Let's hold on to the knee or the toes. Let's open up the leg. Almost like you would in that tree pose, but instead Let's stay nice and strong here. You can simply release the hand if you want to work on strength. And if you're working on that flexibility, you can extend that left leg. Beautiful. Nice and long and strong. Callie, it's okay. That's my dog. Excellent. Let's bring that knee back in front with control. Pop it down. She doesn't usually bark inside, so there's that. All right, you can pedal out the feet. Excellent. Welcome to my at-home yoga studio where life still happens, and it's good. I love it. Invite you into my inner world. All right. Feeling good? Are you feeling your hip flexors? Feeling a little bit of fire? Let's inhale, reach up nice and tall. Reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold it forward into a nice forward fold. I'll check into my doggy. It's okay, Kelly. What's going on? You're fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. You good? Thank you. I love you too. Wonderful forward fold. I'm supposed to be done this class in 3 minutes. Think we can get there? This is what yoga with my dog looks like. Usually when I practice at home, she's really good when I'm teaching. But when I'm doing my own yoga, she's all over me. All right, let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees so you can plant the hands. Step on back. Down to a quick little downward dog. Beautiful. Let's drop the knees down. Then spin on over onto our backs, making our way into a nice reclined position. Beautiful. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Bend the knees and plant the feet. Feel that low back pressing in. See if you can kind of counter that little bend that happens there. Have palms facing up. Have that openness through the collarbone. Beautiful. Take a nice big inhale. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale. Engage. Walk those heels in a little bit closer towards the sits bones. And on that next exhale, with a nice engaged core, let's press into the feet. Lifting the hips up. Just a quick little bridge pose. Nice little back bend. Creates openness to the front line of the body. If you want more, you can interlace the hands under the sits bones and reach down for those heels. Feel how that squeezes the shoulder blades together, lifts the heart, engages a little more there. And let's roll it down, one vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Let's counter that by hugging the knees in towards the chest. You take a little rock from side to side. Let it feel really good. Feel that spine pressing in. Bring those knees together. Bring them in. Relax the shoulders. Beautiful. If you want a little more, you can reach through the feet or through the knees for the feet. And coming into that blissful little happy baby. Extending long through the head, maybe pulling into the feet, kicking into the hands. Feel all of that tension, all of that length. That's a nice reset button for the spine. And then you can relax. Play around with it. All right. A few other things I want to do. Let's just bring the knees over the hips. Reach those arms out nice and wide. Drop the legs down towards your favorite side. I'm going left. Doesn't matter though. You can bring your hand on top of the legs and look towards the opposite direction. Feeling that wonderful rotation through the spine. Nice twist. Excellent. Connecting just with that breath. One more quick little breath here. Return the head to neutral. Release the hands. Swing the legs all the way up. Then over towards the other side. Dropping them down. Nice little twist. I feel like a nice little twist was needed after all of that shenanigans. Trying to stand and move the leg around. Beautiful. Settling in, you can go opposite direction as these. Hand you can be on top of the legs if you want that extra little bit of weight, that extra bit of pull happening through the top side of the body. One more breath. Breathe it in. Side out if you want. Return the head to neutral. Bring the legs up. Plant them down. Checking the time. It's worth it. I think it's worth it. Let's come back to that diaphragmatic breathing. So feel that low back. Make sure you can feel it connecting in with the floor. So that's why I'm doing this with nice bent knees. Relax the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. Bring one hand just below the ribs. So you can still feel onto the ribs, kind of that nice stomach area. Other hand on the belly button or just below the belly button. So let's take a couple of big breaths here. Breathing in. See if you can just breathe into that lower hand. So it might take a couple of tries to not breathe into that rib cage, into the upper lungs. Have it all be diaphragm, doing all the work. Breathe in nice and low. Once you feel like you've mastered that and the ribs aren't really inflating or moving up and down, then you can bring that hand that was on that stomach or that rib cage area. Tuck it in under your back. Have it just be a touch higher, if that's okay, on your shoulder. And then that like small of your back, so just above the small of your back. And now, take a couple of big, giant, diaphragmatic breaths, not just breathing into the hand on your belly, but see if you can breathe into the hand on your back as well. Beautiful. I will leave you here to play around with that beautiful big belly breath or diaphragmatic breathing. It's a tricky one. It takes a little bit of focus. It's a great anchor for the mind. And so if you are ever crazy stressed out and you just need a moment, lay down and give this a try. See if you can breathe into your low back, breathe into your belly, and I promise your body will respond to those big, deep breaths. It'll feel really good. If that shoulder that was tucked under is getting sore, of course, release it. And if you need a little freestyle, if there's another pose or movement your body is craving, of course, please take it. That's so much fun. That is half the fun of yoga. So take your time that you need, working with your breath, settling into your shavasana. Maybe that breath work just is your shavasana, or maybe you have some certain goals that you're working on. Finding that stillness, that peace. I'll roll it up to say goodbye. So I thank you so much for joining me. Thanks, Donna. You are awesome. I hope that you have just a lovely rest of your day or evening, whatever time it might be. May you always find moments filled with joy. And I pray that you are always blessed. Thank you and namaste. We'll see you next time. Beautiful.